Well, hello and good evening everybody. Welcome to round 7 of the North American Grand Prix GT2 Championship, coming to you live from Suzuka in Japan. I'm joined as always by my broadcast partner on Monday night, Brad Maris. Not sure, I know he stepped away for a moment, but not sure if he's back yet. But
Al, I'm back.
Alright, really excited to get this one underway here. We just started qualifying. Track temperature 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 71 degree ambient temperature, so pretty cool conditions for the track for the qualifying session here tonight. And Brad, what are you most looking forward to here in qualifying? What are some of the keys for these guys?
Well, the track temperature might be a little cool at 88 degrees, but you know what? It is a relatively long track, so we're going to be running lap times here just a little over 2 minutes in length, so the tires are going to have enough time to get warmed up here, especially headed around some of these high-speed sweepers around this track. And that's really what it comes down to. It's simply going to come down to putting in a damn good lap and holding it together through some of these tricky sections. The last casino chicane, always one of the more important sections of this track. If you got everything going right up until then, it can put a lot of pressure on you. It's easy to make mistakes going into that last chicane, trying to really lay down the best possible lap you can. So got to watch out for that and see what guys blow it and what guys hang on.
David Poole here will be the first to act. We ride on board with David here. Hopefully he puts a lap together for us for an onboard. But here's David headed into this turn 1 complex here. Very difficult section of track here, this sector 1, Brad.
Yeah, it's a rhythm section, and you know what counts around here more than anything else is really your entry. If you get your entry correct, then you're going to get the rest of the corner correct, assuming you've gotten your practice in and your setup's relatively decent. So David Poole doing a pretty good job through there, maybe taking that entry a little wide into that right-hander there. But yeah, all about entry through that section, Al.
I like to call it massaging the throttle through there. It's a lot of through the S's here, but as David approaching the hairpin under the bridge, track goes cuts up and over itself.
A great track, one of my favorites, and those last couple corners before the hairpin as well. A very exciting section there, and one that you can gain some time at, a place you got to take some risk coming up here to this double left-hand spoon complex, as it's called. Very important part of the track as well.
Yeah, it is a tricky part of the track. Very easy to cooking it through this second left-hander through spoon, and now down the back straight for David, approaching 130R. Probably one of the best corners in all of racing.
And pretty well through spoon. I think David is actually holding a little back in reserve here just to make sure he gets a banked lap.
So through this final chicane here onto the front straight, so David Poole keeping it together for us here on the broadcast. He'll jump up to provisional pole.
Now he's going to have the opportunity to go out and really try to bang some laps in. We'll see if he can manage to improve that 01.5.
Last week's winner, Aaron Parsons, now. We'll talk about Sepang momentarily, but quite a run Aaron put on for the win last week, and he jumps up to provisional pole in the Viper. Mike Trussler to third. real early here. Mike Greatrix quickly dropping down the field. John Lofton exiting the pit lane. So,
I tell you, interesting, looking at some of those practice times, sorry Al, looking at some of those practice times, I was a little surprised to see the times as tight as they were. So very close times up and down this grid. The top two spots there had a bit of a time advantage, but other than that, very close time.
Watching Alex White here, he was up in that second split there, but he backed out of it. It's going to give himself a bit of a gap here and try again. Currently sitting in 19th. Taking a look at the front runners, it's Poole, Joe LaCour in second. Third, sorry. Joe LaCour running that Mercedes Kung Fu Racing right there in the mix in the team championship himself, and Marta Uren, who's been getting some great results so far in the second half of the season.
Yeah, indeed he has, and we'll get to some of that championship situation as well, which is becoming very interesting here as we close toward the end of our season. The final leg, Al.
Last running here in GT2 at Suzuka was March 11th of 2013, so just over a year ago. Chris Moses actually won that race in the Ford GT3. Let's see, Alex White had pole with a 2-minute flat, and he also DNF'd there with suspension failure. Chris Moses, Preto, and Marty Uren were your top three back in 2013, last time he ran here.
Yeah, it has actually been a little while now since Alex White has jumped into this NAGP action, so it's easy to kind of consider Alex White to be a newcomer given some of his results of late the last couple, 3 seasons, but you need to remember he actually has been around a little while but did not have the type of success he has shown those last couple, 3 seasons than he did when he first arrived.
So Joe LaCour up nearly 3/10 there in that second split, so he's going to have a chance at provisional pole here. Kind of botched there, that final chicane. I don't know if that's going to affect him at all.
Yeah, Ian Joe LaCour through that practice period actually did improve his did improve his time lap after lap. So, and he does go to pole, sorry.
His teammate Marty Uren currently residing in 4th. Really big slide from Marty. That's not going to help him. He backs out of it. Looking further back, Felipe Triana about to complete a lap here. Does not improve. Triana showing some good signs of some good pace there. She had some good pace at Sepang. Kind of fell apart for him there at the end, but been running pretty some pretty good runs for him. His results probably not what they should be, but as time goes on, I'm sure those results will improve.
Yeah, I think you're right, and let's not forget that the conditions last week at Sepang were pretty treacherous. Quite a few drivers getting caught out there with some suspect tire changing there, trying to adapt to the conditions, so didn't quite work out for Triana out there, but good opportunity for some redemption here tonight.
Let's take a look at Felipe here in the first split. He's behind about nearly half a second. So looking further back, Coppett was looking, he's currently in 7th, was looking quite fast in practice. He was up in the top 5 if I recall, but currently sitting 7th. Mike Trussler in 8th. Salem Montgomery Jr. currently in 9th, back after missing a couple races. Or a race, I should say. On an outlet, Greg Myers currently sitting 10th. Mike Monahan back in 11th. Following John Watson here. Watson residing in 12th in that Mustang. Had a great run last week at Sepang. John is here in the first split. A little rough first sector there for Walton. Looking further back, Alex Scott currently in 15th. Chris Moses back in 16th. Brian Story 17th. Connor Swain back in 18th. Great Tricks 19th. Houston back in 20th. Look for Houston to improve here slightly. He's way off in the first sector. Oh, Chuck Carter running 21st. Mascarelli back in 22nd. Jaime Moore currently 23rd, carrying a little bit of penalty ballast. Ooh, big slide for Jaime and a big save as well, so nice job by him. Oh, he throws it all the way in the chicane. Matt Taylor back at 24th. And Caldani and Kurt Chandler serving no calls. Kevin Miller on an outlap here. Let's watch Kevin, currently sitting in 27th. He's yet to post a time. He's only up, he's only behind 7/10 here in this. Ooh, big launch, big slide, and into the wall. Wow, that was a good lap for him. Joe LaCour continues here, still holding that first provisional pole spot, and he's up big in Sector 2. About to complete
coming down now here, and coming down to the stripe. Now there's a whole bevy of drivers right behind him here, so Ian Jolicoeur will definitely want to improve his time.
He's up nearly half a second. Ooh, great time by Ian, 2-minute flat. Take a look at the time so far. Ian, the only guy in the 2-minute range. Parsons with a 2:01.5. Followed by White, also with a 2:01.5.
Yeah, and White has just improved that time now, so jumping up into the second spot here provisionally.
Ooh, just off Joe LaCour's time there with a 2 as one of the Corvettes is off.
Yeah, already this session kind of bleeds away, so halfway through qualifying, these drivers have gotten 2 or 3 timed laps in here. They're going to get maybe 2 or 3 more, and that's going to be it. So, very important to try to pick some clean lines around here. Try to avoid any lap traffic and lay down the best ones that you can.
Alex White here, about to cross the first sector time split. Ooh, he's behind. Someone on the broadcast asked how much weight Poole is carrying. He's carrying 50 kilograms.
Yeah, quite a bit of weight out there for David Poole, but still handling that Gumpert around this place pretty nice. Now, he has not improved on that first lap time. We saw him put in that 01.5, and I suspect that he will get past in a few spots here if he does not improve that 01.5.
White through Spoon. See if he was able to make up any time here as he approaches 130R. He does improve a little bit. Certainly not flat out. You can hear by the sound of the car. These guys aren't able to go flat through there in these GT2 cars. Tough to do in a GT1 car as well, I would say. And White nails it. Wow. Picks up almost 4/10 in the final sector.
Yeah, it did look clean coming through that casino chicane. Now, it is possible to cut that chicane actually and gain quite a bit of time, but that lap did look clean.
Yeah, it did. We were on board with him. You got just over 10 minutes to go here in this qualifying session. So your top three are Alex White, Ian Jolicoeur. Ooh, as Parsons a bit of a bobble there. Nearly took it off to Dunlop.
Now that's 0.3 off for Alex White in the first sector we saw, and that's showing up, of course, in the sector times as well. If you can manage to find another 0.3 of a second, then we may know that he can run a bit faster yet. But I got to tell you, Ian Jolicoeur is the guy that has really nailed that first sector so far. He's looking for 0.3 now in that last sector.
Take a look further back. David Montgomery Jr. has jumped up to third provisionally. Ooh, and throws it off. So Parsons, that bunts Parsons down to fourth, Poole down to fifth.
Salem Montgomery Jr. showing some great times in the week of practice, Al, so looking very racy here this week.
Marty Uren in sixth. He's carrying some success ballast as well. Marty carrying 10 kilograms. Follow Marty here to this first sector.
This track continues to put the pressure on. The longer you maintain a good lap, holding that speed all the way through becomes progressively more difficult. Surviving the first sector, then surviving the Spoon complex, then you have to get through the 130R complex, and then you have to get through the Casino hairpin, chicane rather. So there's always pressure on you if you do have a good lap going to try to keep it going.
So we continue to follow Marty here as he approaches Spoon. He was just under 0.2 off in that first sector. Ooh, big slide through Spoon. Hangs on to it. Nicely done. Yeah, the second part of that
complex is really the most important, so that may not have hurt him.
Half a second.
I tell you, that hairpin's also pretty critical for that second sector split time.
Heavy on the brakes. Marty turns up here. No improvement. Wow, he lost a bunch of time there at the end. Prato.
Yeah, it really was wide through that second part of that chicane.
So Prato exiting the pit lane, currently in 7th. Felipe Triana runs in 8th. Mike Trussler's in the top 10 still, currently in 9th. Mike Monahan running in 10th. Matt Taylor exiting the pits, he's in 11th. David Rowley in 12th. Cuppet is falling back to 13th. Greg Myers running in 14th. John Houston now has improved slightly, currently in 15th. Watch John here as he makes his way through Spoon. So Houston just over half a second off. Ooh, and he throws it off. That would have been a good time for Houston. Probably would have moved him into the top 10, but threw it off at the 130R. It's such a hard corner. So Watson sitting in 17th. Chris Moses languishing back in 18th. No surprise with that. Something tells me he'll find his way. Well, maybe not.
Yeah, I suspect he probably will. I don't know that Chris Moses has had hardly any practice. This was a very late substitution for Chris Moses. Now, he does have some experience in this car on this track, if memory serves. So, should help him out. But we are down to under 6 minutes left to go here in this qualifying period, so laps are quickly running out for these drivers.
Watching Connor Swain in 19th, Mike Grachuk's 20th, Story in 21st, Chuck Carter back in 22nd. Mascarelli 23rd. Jaime Moore 24th. That's it. Alex White remains out front. Joe LaCour's in the pits. White's pulling out. Joe LaCour's pulling out. Triana's pulling out.
Yeah, Alex White did manage to improve his time, actually, now running a 2-minute .4. However, he did not find 0.3 of a second in the first sector, but found another 0.3 in the second sector somehow or other. So Alex White improved his time.
Following Salem Montgomery Jr. here through that Dunlop curve under the bridge. And he's up. He's up in the first sector by 0.03 of a second.
Yeah, he has improved his time slightly, picked up just 0.1 of a second here over his previous best lap. So he is looking for a bit more, trying to get it into the 2-minute range himself. Boy, I'm taking a look through time and scoring here. Aaron Parsons is letting time drift away here. He certainly has a better lap time in him than an 01.5. So he's going to have to come up with something special here the last lap or two to improve that time. Have a chance at least nipping second place here.
So follow Montgomery here through that final chicane. See if he's able to improve on his lap time. Does not. To 2:01 flat. Parsons about to close out a lap here. Let's see if he's able to improve. Currently residing in 5th. That's my new word this week, residing.
Oh, nice. I like it, Al. Yeah, Aaron about 0.6 of a second off through the second split.
Jumps up to 4th. Alex White. Under 3 minutes to go here. Joe LaCour is on a time lap right behind White, who's on a time lap. Take a look at the sector times.
It's going to be a tough mark for Ian Joe LaCour to get to, I think. So having to pick up a whole half second here in the next lap. Oh, I talk about the pressure being on.
Take that back. Joe LaCour is ahead of White. Oh, and he throws it off. And White is up in the first sector. That was a good-looking first sector by Joe LaCour. But got a little bit of the gravel. I don't think he's going to have enough time to get another lap in if he closes this one out. Oh, Alex takes it off. So that lap is trashed. Ooh, Joe LaCour way off. He's going to need a prayer to get this one in again.
Yeah, don't think he's going to get a second lap in, even if he has fuel for it. So Ian may be done, and I think Alex White's looking pretty secure here.
Prato improves to 5th. David Poole drops down to 6th, so he's about to complete a lap. Poole brings it in the pits. Monahan in 12th. and out. Take a look further back.
Oh! Andres throws it off at 130R. Hard crash into the Armco.
Oh, Chris Moses jumps up to 10th. Slipping through here. Well, we lost somebody as Joe LaCour is way behind.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anybody in the top 10 out.
Oops, Scott loops it in the final chicane. Let's see if Houston can improve here at the end. Yes, he does, to 13th. Just gets it in. Who's not going to be able to get it around in time? I don't think Joe LaCour will get it in. It wouldn't be good enough anyway. You have it. Alex White takes pole. He actually did improve on his time to a 2:04.
Yeah, nice showing for Alex White. He did eventually eclipse that time he had shown prior to that 2:04. But I got to tell you, I'm very impressed with the likes of actually David Poole. So David Poole turning that 0:15, we saw him on that first lap. Didn't improve from there, but I think in the end got a little lucky. I got to think if I'm David Poole, I'm pretty happy starting from that 6th spot in a car which will get around this place pretty good. And got to give the nod to David Rowley as well. David Rowley came home in 9th. So well and truly inside the top 10 for David Rowley, and that's a nice showing.
Yeah, it certainly is. And got to give credit to Salem Montgomery Jr. as well with a great lap time to qualify in 3rd. So got a couple late bloomers here jumping in.
Yeah, there's one heck of a big group there, slotted from about 7th down to 14th in that high 01 range, grouped very closely together. So these times are going to remain tight, and they'll remain pretty tight throughout the entire race too, assuming these guys don't make any mistakes.
Yeah, essentially 2 through 13, like you said, 2 through 14 within a second. So very, very close qualifying times. So while we're sitting here in Quali 2 waiting for the server to kick over to warm up, let's take a quick look at the standings here in GT2. So your driver situation, Drivers' Championship. With that win last week by Parsons, and Alex White had a little bit of misfortune last week at Sepang, not finishing where he would have liked. White's lead is now 1 point over Aaron Parsons, 107 to 106. David Poole sitting 3rd with 81 points. Presto 4th with 74. And Marty Uren in 5th with 69. Now the team championship, this is the big one here, Brad. This is really tight. T-Brock Dam Bam, that's Parsons and John Houston. They're in 1st with 154. Axis of Awesome, the Matt Taylor and Alex White in 2nd with 142. Kung Fu Racing, Marty Uren and Ian Jolicoeur in 3rd with 133 points. And also 05 Motorsports in 4th with 107, and Team Columbia Nuis in 5th with 106. So very close team championship there, Brad. I know you like that category.
Oh, I sure do. It's fun. Kung Fu Racing's looking to have the early advantage here in this event with 2 guys there in the top 7. So it was Sorry, it was Matt Taylor and John Houston there slotting 13th and 14th for their respective teams. So they're going to be battling out more toward the mid-pack. Early advantage for Kung Fu Racing, and honestly, they could use the points. There's some 20 points in arrears to that T-Brock Dam Bam lead team there, so they can certainly use the points, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't have both have good results. Now, for these teams and for the rest of the field, first couple laps really critical around here. Very easy to get tangled in traffic, so all these guys with these championship aspirations are really going to have to play it pretty cautious if they want to make sure they collect those points at the end.
Yeah, so if you're watching, as we move over to the warm-up, if you're watching NAGP TV for the first time, if you're watching it via the North American Grand Prix website, just scroll up a little bit and you'll see GT2 live timing. You can follow your favorite driver there with that live timing of tonight's race. Also, if you're watching it from Twitch, just click on the banner below the broadcast and that'll also bring up the live timing for tonight's event. You can also follow us on Facebook, North American Grand Prix, and on Twitter at North American GP, I believe. I don't know that Twitter thing, but it is what it is. If you feel the need to follow us, go for it. And also on Twitch as well. Be sure to click on the follow button if you register on Twitch. Just follow us. You'll get alerted on when we go live. So, and also we're on YouTube, NAGP TV. You can watch all the previous races from past seasons, and there's some pretty good ones on there, Brad. Both GT1, GT2, and iRacing. So, some cool stuff on there.
Oh yeah, you kidding? All the last couple seasons' actions are cataloged in all their glory, and we had some tremendously exciting individual races and of course championships as well. So it's fun to go back and review those sometimes and see exactly what has happened.
Yeah, it's also nice. I went for in the pre-race threads on the forum before each a week before each race. We have a pre-race thread. Any track that we have run at in the past and we have broadcast, there's a link to the old broadcast there. I like clicking on that and seeing what happened the race before. And I also like to crack myself up sometimes watching these rebroadcasts.
Well, it is much more a community service than a worldwide service at this point now. I don't know that we should change anything with that, but hey, you know what? If you do happen to like the broadcast, you're welcome to tell somebody about it. They might not, they might end up hating you afterward, but hey, give it a shot, see what happens.
All right, someone's saying I'm soft on my volume. Is it still soft now? As the guys practice their pit ins and outs and their start. Just about 2 minutes left to go here. We'll be ready to go live for tonight's race.
And I suspect this will be a good one. Now, Alex White definitely looks to have the pace here. So it wouldn't surprise me too much to see if he can get the early advantage, perhaps to set the pace and pull away. However, through the field, this is going to be a very good race. Now, it should be worth mentioning that Suzuka is actually a very difficult place to pass on, and drivers can end up getting pretty anxious around here as well. So they'll have to be cautious of that too if they don't want to upset their neighbor too much. But other than that, that does lead to some very good action around this place, and honestly, this is the type of place where pit stops are all important to try to gain an advantage over your rival as well. So something these guys hopefully have taken into consideration as part of their race strategy.
Well, the likelihood of rain here, it's considered average, so not like Sepang last week where it was almost a definite, but there's still that possibility. Like I mentioned before, last time we raced here was in 2011. The race did go 29 laps. That's the max distance, so it went 60 minutes 50 seconds. So fast lap of the race was a 2:02 flat by Chris Moses. Moses led the most laps and had fast lap of the race. White had pole. So
yeah, haven't had any rain here in our previous races in the GT2 class.
yeah, I can't recall ever it raining here either in GT1 or GT2.
It seems to me we've had some GT1 rain, but that it could possibly have been in some type of qualifying session, or maybe had a quick shower, just kind of moistened up the track a bit, something like that.
So just a few seconds here before we turn it over to the race.
Yeah, I wouldn't think double stinting would be a huge possibility there tonight, but the GT2 class is a little different. There may be some cars, if they decide to go with a particular strategy, some of the Porsches perhaps, and intentionally run some slower laps to try to get that double stint in. That is actually a possibility.
Jonathan Cuppett, do you copy?
I'm here.
Al and Brad in the broadcast booth. We're about to go over the race. How you feeling going into tonight's event?
Feel pretty good. Didn't get as much practice as I was hoping for, but car feels pretty stable.
Well, best of luck tonight there, Mr. Cuppett. We'll be keeping a close eye on you, and best of luck.
Yep, good luck, Jonathan. Well, there you have it. Quick chat with Cuppett before tonight's race. Track temp 101 degrees Fahrenheit, no rain, 84-degree ambient. So looks like good condition, Brad. Let's run down the starting order for tonight's race. Starting from pole, Alex White. Second, Joe LaCour, Salem Montgomery Jr. Third, Parsons fourth, Prato fifth.
David Poole takes 6th. Marty Urin is in 7th. Felipe Triana takes 8th. David Rowley, nice time for 9th. Chris Moses in 10th.
Mike Trussler starting 11th. Mike Monahan 12th. John Houston 13th. Matt Taylor 14th. And Cuppett, we just talked to him in 15th.
Alex Scott will take 16th. A little surprising to see him that far back. Kevin Miller's in 17th. Gregory Myers starts 18th. John Wathen slipped to 19th. Jaime Moore's in 20th.
Great Tricks 21st. Brian Story 22nd. Chuck Carter 23rd. Lou Mascarelli 24th. And Connor Swain 25th.
Jesse Caldani is going to take 26th. Curtis Chandler's in 27th. Kreshna Khalili takes 28th. Rodrigo Triana is in 29th. And that is your field here at Suzuka.
Late thoughts here, Brad, before we go green?
Again, it's going to be really important if these guys want a good finish to maintain control here on the first lap. There's going to be a lot of guys that you have to have some give and take because you will be on the outside of one of these opening corners, so that's all important here at Spa. Well, Spa too, but particularly here at Suzuka.
Yeah, this first two corners here are going to be very tricky. Seen some incidents in the past, guys getting squeezed off. Let's hope these guys keep it together here and give each other some space. We got 4 seconds to go here. About to go green. Round 7 from Suzuka. Alex creeping a bit. Wow, a great start. Joe LaCour a little slow on the getaway. We got some contact between Poole and Prato got caught off there. He's fallen back a few positions. Joe LaCour's fallen back to 3rd. Got some side-by-side action here through the S's. Prato's fallen all the way back to 20th. Wow. Had some contact with, I believe it was David Poole. Looks like we had an off in the back there.
I'm getting it to it now. It was Alex Scott and Gregory Myers, both coming to a bad end here to finish out the first second.
So Alex White continues to lead here early on this lap 1. He's got Montgomery Jr. right on his tail and Joe LaCour behind him. On board with Ian, heading up to Spoon for the first time. Ooh, Ian. He gets it checked up in time. Alex White already starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and Montgomery Jr. Parsons falling back to 5th. Poole has gotten ahead of him. Chris Moses now rocking his way up to 7th behind Marty. See if Ian has a look on Montgomery Jr. heading into the chicane here. I mean, Moore and Matt Taylor, a little bit of contact. Triana involved, but Jaime Moore muscles his way through for 11th. Kevin Miller up to 14th. He's got Prato alongside on the outside. Side by side into 1. Something's got to give. Prato gets it. Ooh, Houston takes it off. So Prato's going to get by him for another spot, and Miller going to have a look in the inside of Houston. Not going to get it done. Further back, Triana and Connor Swain. Triana back in 18th. Mascarelli 20th. Carter and Curtis for 21st and 22nd. Kurt, pretty decent start there after having a no-qual. Caldani up to 23rd. Go ahead, Brett.
Another quick update there on Mike Trussler going into turn 1. So Mike Trussler, I threw it off track or something happened. Anyway, Mike Trussler's great qualifying effort has come to a swift end here early.
Looks like that's Chuck Carter throwing it off there at Dunlop. So Alex White already checking out. Joe LaCour has made the move on Montgomery Jr. for 2nd. So now it's up to Ian.
And he needed to make that move.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, as quickly as possible. He needed to get by to see if he can take some time out of that white machine.
Yeah, it's up to Ian now to really put the hammer down. Further back, we got Parsons and Poole into 130R. Advantage Parsons. Poole's going to hang on to it. Wow, side by side through 130R. They're still side by side into the chicane, and Parsons makes the pass. Great job by both of those guys. Wow, what a move by Parsons, and what a great job by Poole. Both those guys.
Yeah, very, very tough spot there. And meanwhile, Chris Moses is not lurking too far behind that group. So a nice move up here for Chris Moses early.
A little dicing going on between Uren and Poole. Marty, take a look on the inside. Not going to be able to get it done. On board with Marty. So Parsons, after getting past Poole, is slowly but surely starting to put a gap between himself and Poole. He's got Montgomery Jr. up ahead. That's his target set on him at the moment. Chris Moses has made his way past Rally and 8th. Monahan in 9th. So Chow Mein Moto boys looking pretty good here early on, as Marty continually trying to make hay here. He's trying to do everything he can to get by Poole. Marty may have some pace on David Poole, but Moses is now involved in this fight. Looks like Marty might be lagging a little bit.
Yeah, well, there certainly was some type of warp situation there, and you're absolutely right. I don't think there's any question Marty and Moses both have a little bit of pace on David Poole, particularly lugging around that boat anchor in the trunk there for David Poole. So we'll see just how long he can manage to stay out front.
I think Moses, a little wide there, I think Moses realizes Marty might be lagging a little bit, so he's kind of being a little cautious down the straights here, not staying right up on his bumper.
Yeah, and it is tough. As mentioned, this is a very difficult place to pass at. You have to get through some of these sections very well, but you also develop a lot of aero push to get through those sections where you can get a good run on a guy to get a pass. It's tough.
Marty's got a little bit of front-end damage on his Mercedes. I don't know where that came from. Didn't see it. Looking further back, we got Rally and Monahan. Rally under some pressure from Mike for 8th.
Now, quick update, Al. I did not catch it. Salem Montgomery Jr. has gotten past Ian Jolicoeur, so I don't know what happened there, but it is Salem Montgomery Jr. back in second.
So possibly a mistake from Ian or a pass on track by Montgomery. So Montgomery was, after Ian got past, Montgomery was hanging with Ian. He wasn't letting Ian get away. And still, they see White there up in the distance, not that far off. So he's still,
yeah, he's going to be dwindling quickly.
Larson's now running in 4th. We've still got this Poole and White Poole and Marty battle, but further back we got Monahan all over the back of David Rally. Side by side, Poole and Marty. Marty can't get it done. Moses is going to have a look on the outside going into the hairpin, into the chicane, sorry. Oh, like Moses takes it off. Oh, he recovers. He's back. Still hangs on to that 7th position. Unbelievable.
That was an amazing save, actually.
I think he caught a wheel off on the grass and sent them off, but yeah, you're right. Hopefully he didn't get a cut track for that.
Yeah, that usually will just suck you off into the grass, and there's some gravel just beyond that you can get stuck in very easily.
So that little tussle there between Moses and Marty has given brief respite to David Poole, but Marty back on the charge here. Taking a look further back. Monahan continues to hound David Rally here for that 8th spot. Triana and Prato now for that 10th position. John Houston involved as well. On board with Houston.
Yeah, right now there's almost no driver you can look at that is not involved in a direct fight out there on track. So lots of action going on here early.
Bit of a wheel spin from Triana. See if Prato can capitalize here in the spoon. Triana taking it way out wide. Houston keeping it tight. See if this Viper can get a run down the straight. That Ford is extremely quick. Houston, hang on to it!
Oh!
He does. But that's going to give him some arrow, no doubt about that. Wow. What a save by Houston. That could have been terminal.
Yeah, that Viper is not going to be terribly good through that 130R complex. Really, I think that's where Ezra was having his problems in qualifying. Not quite able to match that Alex White time, or even well, the 3 cars that qualified out ahead of him. So Viper's struggling a little bit through there.
So further up, Moses continues to run in 7th. Marty Uren and David Poole continue to run 5th and 6th. Parsons unable to close up really that much on Ian, while Ian has closed the gap slightly on Montgomery Jr.
Yeah, and as you watch that battle, I better go ahead and bring you up to date on a battle going over the last points paying position here in 16th. Connor Swain, a whole bunch of cars in back of him. Greatrex Chandler and Caldani all looking to try to pick up that final point.
Oh, Chandler takes it off. So Greatrex Caldani, wow, what a gaggle of cars here. I mean, more.
It certainly is, and sorry, Alan. One of those cars back there, actually just ahead of that group, is Matt Taylor. So Matt Taylor not finding very good success here for the Axis of Awesome team early.
So Matt Taylor all over the back of Kevin Miller. 14th. On board with Taylor. Taylor has a look here into the chicane. Hard on the brakes. Taylor may have a run on him here into turn 1. Gonna look on the inside. Should be able to get it done here. Oh! Taylor going in too hot, gets into the side of Kevin Miller. That's unfortunate. That's going to move Swain up to 15th. Miller rejoins in 16th, right behind, right in front of Mike Greatrex. You see this line of cars here. Caldani, Story, Chandler, Moore, Myers, and Cuppet.
And if you're in this position, Al, it's really important right now that you just don't make any mistakes yourself. That's the main thing, because you know that some of these guys are going to. So, you know, all you need to do is really hang back for a little while, let the guys sort themselves out. As soon as you find yourself a little bit in some clean track, then you can go ahead and put the speed back on.
Well, with Caldani, he's got this battle between Miller. I believe that's Miller, and Greatrex just ahead of him. Yep, that's Miller. Miller in the final points paying position. Behind these guys is Brian Story. Behind Story, we got Chandler, Moore, and Greg Myers, and Cuppet. As Moore nearly takes it off. See if Cuppet can get a run on Greg here down this back straight. Ooh, Greatrex throws it off. Threw it off in the 130R. That moves Caldani up to 17th.
Yeah, and quickly, as you watch that battle, I'll give you another update here. Ian Jolicoeur has found some speed again, and he has latched on to the back of Salem Montgomery Jr., who is not losing much time himself to Alex White. So that battle's still together toward the front.
Well, this battle between Poole and Marty continues to go on here. Yeah, you called it. Ian Jolicoeur is all over the back of Salem for that second position.
He dropped off the back just a little bit, but here in the last couple laps has kind of refound his Suzuka legs a little bit, and it is quite a fight going on right now over the 10th position as well. Rally Triana and Prieto, as there are some mistakes going on, guys taking evasive action, they're all over the place.
Monahan makes his way past Rally, on board with Prieto. just tuning in, we got a great one going on here from Suzuka. Triana going in hot into Spoon, nearly gets into the back of Rally. Getting it a little wide into the exit of 130R, but manages to reel it in. But this battle has allowed John Houston to close up on these guys. Let's go further back here. This battle between for 16th, Caldani still within striking distance as Brian Story has turned it around into the chicane. He's gonna have to wait for these guys. Kreshnik gets by, so he's falling back to 25th. Mike Trussler.
Yeah, Brian Story is actually. Sorry, Al. Brian Story was. Oh yeah, they are. So this has got to be an early stop for those guys. They're looking for some type of strategy help here on their pit stops. They've obviously reached the pit window, and they're going to try to get themselves out of some traffic, maybe hook up and try to run some decent laps and a little drafting. Oh, I like the move, Al.
Yeah, interesting call there. We're taking a look at the time. We're about under 20 minutes here, so still got a ways to go. Interesting call there, Brad. Not sure if I agree with that one, but we'll see how it pans out for them.
Well, anytime that you're doing something to try to improve your position, it's, you know, at least you're trying to do something, right? So those guys felt that they needed to do something, and more power to them. So right now it is Ian Jolicoeur actually taking a look on the outside of 130R over Salem Montgomery Jr. again. I tell you, those guys, actually their lap times are not too far off of Alex White. If they were not in this direct fight, they would definitely be holding pace with Alex White. I find this a little surprising that Alex White has not really put his stamp on this race yet.
Jolicoeur on the back bumper of Montgomery. Taking a look on the outside. Hang on to it.
I saw that coming.
Yep. So he's going to have to get back to work there. He didn't lose a spot, but Parsons now has closed up. And, well, that's not going to help Ian too much. He's lost a bunch of time.
Yeah, lap after lap after lap, you could find yourself stuck behind the same guy at this place, and it makes you want to take more and more chances. And turn one is always going to be your best opportunity, and it's so easy to overcook it just the tiniest bit, and you're off. That has happened to me. It's happened to Ian. I think it's happened to everybody at some point.
So this battle between David Poole has remained unchanged here. These two guys continue to go at it here. They settled down a bit, both of them in their groove here.
You know, I'm impressed by Marty Wren actually in this drive. He has not that impatient bug has not bitten him yet.
So a little further back, Chris Moses and Mike Monahan. Monahan having a great run here tonight, running in 8th. So Prato has made his way past Triana for 9th. Triana, Houston, now Rally. Well, we saw Rally. Well, I don't remember what happened to Rally, but he's fallen back to 12th. He's in the mix here between Triana and Houston.
Yeah, David Rally, it's just been a steady progression of losing some spots here and there from his 9th place starting on the grid. So K-Rod asked on the chat there the temperature. The temperature is currently at 101 degrees on track, 79 Fahrenheit. The temperature has remained pretty constant.
Ooh, Rally nearly takes it wide again at the 130R. We got Taylor, Caldani, sorry, and Swain. Great move by Caldani through 130 after making the pass on Swain. Wow, what a pass. We just caught that as it was happening. So nice move by Jesse to take that final points paying position away for the time being from Swain. What a great job by him. Young kid too. Really doing, really showing some promise here, sim racing.
You know, and was toward the back here and the beginning of this event, so not sure what happened there, but working his way back up nicely and showing some good patience.
Yeah, Jesse had a no call that he served from Monza incident, I believe, so missed last week's race, but he's back tonight, so he was serving that penalty. That's why he started from the back.
Gotcha. So not sure what battle you're on now, but there's one I'm watching over 12th place. So David Rowley and Rodrigo Triana, or maybe you just did mention David Rowley, so you perhaps you were cataloging that battle.
Ooh, big slide by Houston. Yeah, Rowley under some intense pressure here from Triana for that 12th spot.
Well, the impetus has really gone out of Salem Montgomery Jr. here, so as soon as Ian Jolicoeur went off, Salem Montgomery Jr. has slipped back a little bit from Alex White for that second place, so his lap times have dropped off a bit, and I wonder if the tires on that Ferrari aren't going off a little bit, or if he's come to some lap traffic, but in any event, he's going to have to regroup if he wants a shot here going into our stops of challenging Alex White going forward.
Yeah, so Marty just sitting tight here in 6th. Parsons hanging on to the back of Jolicoeur after Jolicoeur had that off. Might have lost a little bit of ground. Ian might have picked up some time on Salem for 2nd. So meanwhile up front, Alex White continues to lead this race. Taking a look at the conditions, 78 degree ambient, 100 degree track temp. Currently working lap 12. So you should see these guys start coming in around perhaps lap 14. Some guys may go 15. Some guys may come in a bit sooner, as we've already seen. So pit window has opened up for some of these guys.
Oh, I was just going to mention, and I checked on some of the gaps, Marty Urin. Yeah, I've been very impressed with Marty Urin, and I think really just staying pretty cautious behind David Poole, waiting for a moment. Well, he got one, as David Poole has thrown it off in the hairpin.
So, sigh of relief there from Marty, making Poole making it easy on him.
Yeah, David Poole actually has slipped back now to the 8th position behind not only Marty Urin, but Mike Monahan and Chris Moses, who has himself is in the 7th spot.
That's unfortunate for David. He was having a great run, especially with that weight. He's carrying quite a bit of weight. Chris Moses has some damage to the... Looks like Monahan, his teammate, has gotten past for 6, so... Moses has dropped back to 7th. He's got some damage to the right side of that Audi.
Yeah, indeed he has, Al. I just caught that myself. So a nice run going here for Mike Monahan as well.
David Poole now coming under the clutches of Andres Prieto. Let's remind everybody, Prieto, the moment there at the start, I believe there was some contact right close to the start line, sent them off slightly into the grass track side there on the main straight, but he lost a bunch of time. But he's found his way up to 9th. He was back at 20th at one point.
Yeah, that's right, Al. And just another quick update here. Rodrigo Triana was in a fight with David Rowley. Pretty momentous fight, actually. Rodrigo did get the pass done going into turn 1. Very textbook pass. Getting a good run coming off the last chicane.
Following this battle with Houston and Triana. Felipe Triana. Houston really was tucked up underneath Triana, but a little bit of a mistake. Lost a bit of time there. So, yep, Triana has made the move on Rally. Rally's fallen back to 13th. Matt Taylor quietly running in 14th now on his own. Caldani now up to 15th. Looks like Kevin Miller must have made a mistake. Caldani 15th. Greg Myers now up into the points. Chandler running 17th, one spot out. Miller now has fallen back to 18th. Guppet 19th. Halili loops it, but he's in 20th. Brian Story running 21st. Great Tricks 22nd. Jaime Moore, looks like Jaime Moore had an incident. He's fallen back to 23rd. Chuck Carter back in 25th. Well, those two vets. We got Mascarelli and Connor Swain. Wathen is out of the race. We're talking about Alex Scott and Trusser. Well, they've already pitted. They're running 24th and 25th. Nose to tail. They pitted a couple laps ago. Much earlier than everybody else. So we'll have to keep our eye on these guys, see where they end up here after the stop cycle through.
Yeah, and speaking of those stops, real quickly before you finish off your rundown, Moses and Prieto also into the pit.
So these guys have come in. Alex White now coming up between, coming up on some lap traffic. Dave, it looks like Connor Swain and Lou Mascarelli. So he may drop a bit of time here to Montgomery Jr. Looks like Swain let him by pretty easily.
Yeah, checking those gaps. Actually, Alex White, that gap had stabilized to Salem Montgomery Jr. Salem was starting to put in some good laps again as we watch going into 130R here. Didn't make that terribly easy, but
big moment for White. He hangs on to it. Yeah, that should have been. Connor Swain gets back by, and look at Montgomery Jr. just benefiting from this. You know, just after as White pulls it in, Montgomery Jr. going to pit in, and so is he. And this is critical right here. But that could have been made a lot easier for White, no doubt about it. Parsons is in.
Yeah, indeed. So it was Salem Montgomery Jr. actually starting to really stabilize that gap, even maybe bringing it down a little bit before that. Oh, I think Ian.
Yep.
Might have somebody in his stall.
Yep, that's
wow.
Montgomery Jr. is in his stall. So that's
wow.
That's tough break. Monahan is back in. Oh, I don't know if he's pitted yet, but that's a tough situation for Ian. That pretty much cost him any chance he's had at a win here.
Oh, what a tough break for those guys, and what a battle that was brewing. So it's up to Salem Montgomery Jr. now, but he knows that he has picked up some time on Alex White. So I got to tell you, I am very impressed with Salem's lap times. He has really taken it to the overall championship leader, and one hell of a driver in Alex White.
White is away, so Parson gets out ahead of White. So Parsons gonna take over the lead. What a stop from Parsons.
Wow, and Salem actually gave up some time on that stop, so he's lost quite a bit of ground there.
I think Houston got caught out as well, so I think Rodrigo Triana got caught out also, so I think Triana drove through the pits. He saw somebody in his stall. Rodrigo, that is. Yeah, so the rule is generally what we're seeing is some guys, certain tracks can only accommodate so many pit bays rather. So we got 30 some odd guys. I believe this track can handle, let's see, it can handle 22 pit boxes. So some guys are going to be sharing pit stalls. So generally, good rule of thumb is if you request and you get a blue light telling you to come in, that's within the game. Your pit says come in, you come in. So what happens sometimes is guys will just jump into the pit lane when another guy has a blue light behind, and well, some guys end up getting screwed, unfortunately. So that looks like it was the case for Ian, as Marty now leads this race, and that's huge for the team championship, as Kung Fu Racing was set to have a great result here. We'll have to see where Ian ends up, as Matt Taylor.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Now it is Salem Montgomery Jr. Following up real quickly on that, Salem Montgomery Jr. came out some 12 seconds behind Alex White, so it's a pretty disastrous stop for Salem, and he's going to be giving up some other spots as well, now being challenged by Chris Moses out there on track.
Rodrigo Triana finally away. So that also looked like another quick stop for Rodrigo. I'm not sure what's going on with him. So Montgomery currently in 6th. He's got Moses behind him. So good stuff from Chris. Mike Monahan back in 7th. Preto has worked his way up to 9th, but these guys should pick up some more spots. He's beaten David Poole out in the pit cycle. Triana right there as well. We saw John Houston get caught up in the pit. I believe someone was in Houston's spot. I'm not sure entirely. It looked like it from the broadcast. But Marty is leading this race. Let's see what he decides to do here, if he pits in or not. Marty is in. So Parsons just going through Spoon now. This could be interesting here.
Yeah, you'd think that Parsons would have him pretty well covered. Parsons, of course, made some type of incredible stop to get past Alex White. He was running some 5 or 6 seconds off coming into those stops.
It certainly looks like White has some pace on Parsons.
Yeah, he'll have some, but it's going to be a tough pass. Now, he got pretty lucky here with Salem Montgomery Jr. having his problems, and of course Ian, so it's very unfortunate. But it's going to be very difficult for those guys to make up that kind of time, even if Alex White does get held up by Aaron Parsons. But it's a very difficult place to pass on.
So Marty is away. So Marty may jump up here into 3rd. He does, well ahead of Montgomery Jr. So Montgomery Jr. really lost out on that pit cycle.
Yeah, indeed. So I think it's just Krishna Khalili, one of our last cars to complete our pit stop rotation here. It is also Chris Moses now, who runs a virtual 5th place on track once Kreshnik does come in for that service, who re-jumped teammate Mike Monahan. But those guys doing a great job here in this race in that Audi R8.
They certainly are. As Kreshnik Khalili, I believe he has yet to pit, currently in 5th. Moses and Monahan running 6th and 7th. Preto right there, as is David Poole, and Triana a little further back. So interested to see where Joe LaCour ended up. So Joe LaCour rejoins all the way back in 17. That is serious bad luck for Ian. And he's got some fun to that car.
Yeah, and the traffic's no easier to pass, whether you're, 0.2 of a second a lap faster, or a whole second or more even.
So Alex Scott and Trussler. Trussler jumped Matt Taylor after the pit cycle. He joins after they cycle through. He's in 14th. Taylor 15th. Scott the last points paying position in 16th. But Jolie Court is all over the back of him.
I don't think that Mike Trussler and Alex Scott did pick up some positions. Remember, Alex Scott got involved in the fracas as Ian's going for that pass now.
Looks like Ian's going to get it done. He does. Oh, he hangs on to it. Looks like Scott's going to have a look. Nope, he thought better of it. So Ian now back into the points.
Yeah, Alex Scott, I think, did give a little room there. Let Ian go by, knowing that he did have a bit better pace.
So Felipe Triana in the pits. He's away. He's out of the points now, so I'm not sure what happened to Felipe. Up at Chandler. Let's see, 19th. Miller back in 20th. Caldani was running in the points. He's back in 21st. Connor Swain, 22nd. Rodrigo Triana, 23rd. He got, he had some tough luck there in the pit stops. Moore in 24th. Great Trick Story. Carter in 27th. And Lou back in 28th.
You know, I think that was a stop and go for Felipe Triana for speeding on pit lane.
Probably one of the closest battles on track. It's the battle for the lead between White and Parsons.
Yeah, this is interesting now. Now, as Aaron Parsons has lifted his time a little bit here from what we saw in the first stint, I'm wondering if he is going to have a little bit for Alex White here if he can keep him behind. If Alex White gets out front, but as the longer Alex White is back behind Aaron Parsons, scrubbing off his tires and abusing him a little bit, Aaron Parsons may, that advantage could get closer and closer, but for now, Alex White certainly does have the speed.
Combo with White through the S's. The Dunlop curve, I think this is called.
It's like Krishna Kalili has finally elected to pit. I believe he is going to be the last of our runners.
Makes a move here into the hairpin. He's rather close. It can get done here, but takes a ballsy move. Ooh, big slide by Parsons in the spoon.
Yeah, I don't think Aaron is. I think Aaron is pushing a little bit more than he'd actually like to at this point. But I think he also understands that his pace is not so far off of Alex White that he should not really try to put in a big effort here to try to keep him behind.
I'll be honest with you, Brad. You gotta look back. I mean, if this turns out the way it does, you gotta look back at that lap car situation and Alex getting caught up there right before his stop. That was just enough time for Parsons to get out in front.
Yeah, that's a good point, Al. And, you know, also, of course, these guys are unfettered by what could have been possibly a four-way battle for the lead with the other pit lane problems that we had. So, very interesting turn of events, and it's going to work out great, really, for Aaron Parsons, all other things being equal. Even if he does finish second, he's not going to be giving up too many points to Alex White.
Parsons just hits fast lap of the race.
Yeah, I really think that first stint and watching Alex White's times there in the low 03 range, I don't think that he was really conserving that tires too much. Salem Montgomery and those guys, Andre Prieto back into the pits, Al.
Prieto back in.
And that is a strange one.
Yeah, he's missing his rear wing.
Oh. That would be a 130R incident, I'm thinking. Well, that is disastrous. David Poole back into the pits as well, so maybe they came to some blows there, Al.
Yeah, it looks like interesting. Well, we missed
Wow. I gotta tell you, that's working out well for the Corvette guys. Mike Trussler and Alex Scott now up into 11th and 12th as a result.
Triana now, after his, what we think was a stop and go, is now up to 14th. Taylor 13th. So yeah, you mentioned Scott and Trussler. Greg Myers right in front of those guys. Gotta tell you, Brad, we're really impressed with Trussler's performance of late.
Yep.
I know we keep going back to when we first talked to him, but he's really been putting in some solid points-paying runs here. And now he's all over the back of veteran Greg Myers.
Yeah, always going to be a tough pass. I don't think Greg's going to give that spot up easily now. Alex White did have a good opportunity coming off the final chicane, but got on the power a little too briskly. Lost control, could not get that power down coming down the front straight. Aaron Parsons still in the lead.
Yeah, lost a bit of time there to Parsons and with that mistake, but looking further back, Marty Uran running in third. Montgomery Jr. unable to close the gap up on Marty. Moses and Monahan running lockstep 5th and 6th. John Houston now finds himself up to 7th after Poole and Prieto. Prieto now just exiting the pit lane. So he's got a ton of damage he had to get repaired. Joe LaCour has worked his way all the way up to 9th. So Joe LaCour is on a tear. He's got a lap car up ahead of Mascarelli. Gets by easily there. Back out front, White and Parsons continue to go at it.
Yeah, and I think Alex White's tires have dropped off a little bit now, so having a little bit more difficulty with that Aston, and boy, Ez is so cagey. He keeps an eye on those lap times, and I think he had an idea that the longer he could keep Alex behind him, the harder it would be for Alex to get by. Nothing settled yet, of course, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if that was in Aaron's.
Oh, nice. We had a spun Porsche there. Did a nice job getting out of the way. Ooh, and White, another moment there.
Same thing.
Yep. Gotta wonder if frustration's starting to set in here for White.
Yeah, might be a little bit. I don't know that he expected to fight. Ooh, Matt Taylor throws it off going into the hairpin. So Matt Taylor's losing some spots here. He is currently out of the points as Matt Taylor.
Yeah, he is. He's fallen back to 17th. Jesse Caldani takes advantage up to 16th. Kevin Miller also in the points at 15th.
Yeah, and while you watch that, there is a battle going on over 10, so Gregory Myers and Mike Trussler are still going at it, but Alex Scott has jumped up to join that fight as well to make it a three-way battle for that top 10.
On board with Trussler, got a lap car up ahead. Oh, it's Scott. I think Scott might have gotten into the back of his teammate there. Saw a little bit of debris. Greg makes his way through. So we'll check back on those guys. White now has closed the gap on Parsons. You gonna have a look on the inside of the 130R? Nope.
I tell you, Aaron has really lifted his times over what they were in the first sector, lap after lap. I think Aaron is right on the edge of grip and adhesion here, but he's given it everything he possibly can. Alex White not quite as loose coming off the corner that time, but boy, Aaron has a real advantage through there, and that is the place you want to have the advantage if you're trying to keep a guy behind you.
Yeah, what we saw in qualifying, White not as quick through this first sector, but really fast through the last sector. I think that's where he's really making up a lot of time on Parsons.
Yeah, he'd be making up more if he wasn't having to sit behind that big Viper spoiler and losing the front end aero on the Aston Martin. Oh, it was Felipe Triana trying to get in front of Alex Scott going into turn one. There was a fracas. Felipe Triana.
Oh,
Alex Scott off. Heavy damage to both.
Kevin Miller not. Wow, Kevin Miller up to 13th. Caldani. Yeah, we just caught the tail end of that. Caldani now is up to 13th. Miller had some contact there with Scott. Ooh, that Corvette is smashed. Yeah,
I think that was a.
Go ahead.
I think that was a bit of a case. Alex Scott trying to close the barn door a little too late there. Not 100%, but.
So Triana now back to 16th. Taylor still in 17th out of the points. Cuplett's now up to 12th. Trussler running in 11th. Still behind Greg Myers. Lost a bit of time to Greg. Joe LaCour quietly in 9th. Rally up to 8th now. Houston running in 7th. And these two Audis continue to run lockstep 6th and 5th.
Great run for those guys.
So Salem still unable to make up any time on Marty Uren for 3rd. And this battle up front.
Yeah, I was watching those gaps for that 2nd place, or 3rd place, excuse me, Al. I think Salem is starting to gain a bit of an advantage. Those lap times are a little bit better compared to 3rd place Marty Uren, but we'll see if there is enough time and if Salem can challenge for that pass late.
We are on board with White. This is for the lead of the race. Aaron Parsons just ahead. It's been like this since the end of the first stint. These guys exited the pit lane 1 and 2.
Well, I tell you, it's now Alex White off about a half second, whereas before he was pretty much lashed onto that bumper all the way around the track. So who knows? It could be advantage Aaron Parsons here as we are starting to close out our laps.
Coming up on some lap traffic. I believe that's Mike Greatrix in the Ford up ahead. Ooh! There you have it again. But White doing the same thing, losing time.
Well, certainly not out of this by any stretch of the imagination, but boy, if you can possibly keep the heat on Aaron Parsons, you sure want to. It doesn't, 99% of the time it's not going to do anything to him, but you want to get all the pressure you can on the guy.
make their way. A moment there for White. These guys make their way through this lap traffic.
Yeah, as you watch that battle going on, there's another one rejoined here a little further back. Alex Scott continuing to fight hard here. Along with him, Matt Taylor and Rodrigo Triana, all fighting pretty vigorously here for some late points.
Wow, 3 wide into 130i. I don't think that's going to work. As Scott, oh, he hangs on to it.
Wow.
Side by side into the chicane, and Triana gets it done for 17th. Wow.
A really tough break, of course, for Alex Scott. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but boy, it does have to be very frustrating after a great strategy call on the pit stops. And you know what? That's part of it. Sometimes it happens, but it's sad to see, of course.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if Triana can make some headway on Matt Taylor. Triana had some pace. He was running up in the top 10, but he got caught up in the pit lane and lost a bunch of time. So just out of the points, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Ooh, as Felipe Triana nearly loses it at Dunlop curve. Meanwhile, Kevin Miller having a great run here. Not so great qualifying, but like something we're it's a pattern we're seeing here, Brad, for some time.
Yeah, indeed. His teammate actually was running pretty well very early. Got caught up in some problems there at the hairpin, but yeah, it's always nice to see those guys moving forward.
Actually reminds me a bit of Greg Myers, to be honest with you. Greg not always qualifying all that well, but works his way up there into the points. So Kevin doing a bit of that here in recent seasons, so good to see. Let's look further up here. Go ahead.
Nope. Go.
So Cuppet and Trussler. Cuppet starting to close the gap up a bit here on Mike Trussler. That vet, it's going to be tough to for that vet to keep that Viper behind, especially through some of these straights. If Cuppet can get closer to him, say going into the chicane or at the exit 130i, he could put a move on Trussler. We'll keep an eye on that one as well. Further up, that gap between Marty and Salem closing up slightly, but the gap, this is the closest battle on track.
As you watch that battle, I have a quick update that Chris Moses has led.
He gets it done into the chicane. Wow.
Sorry, Al, I didn't know that was a fight for the lead there. I thought you were else.
Alex gets the pass done.
Totally missed what happened.
Let's see if Ezra's his forum name. Let's see if Aaron is able to respond here. He hasn't quite let White get away that too far. We'll have a look on the inside here through the S's.
Yeah, when that challenge died down a little bit by Alex White, Aaron Parsons' lap times dropped off immediately. So I think that he kind of lost focus there, having to drive so hard. Now the situation's a bit reversed here with Alex White suddenly getting by after. Whoa!
Whoa! Big cut there from Parsons.
So it can always be tough when you suddenly find yourself in front of that guy you've been fighting with for all those laps, but Alex White's looking pretty good so far. Kevin Miller has taken a DNF suddenly, Al. We were just talking about him.
What a shame. So taking a look at the timing here. Ooh. This race quickly winding down here, just a few laps left. Working lap 27. So, that's interesting. I mean, Parsons could have easily have made that a lot more difficult for White, but White got a pretty good run here going into the chicane. He made the move there on the inside of Parsons.
Well, these are very important points for both these guys. Aaron Parsons doesn't want to finish this race second, but he also doesn't want to lose out on 20 points either. So he is going to go ahead and play it pretty conservative, knowing that there are plenty of rounds of this championship left to go.
Yeah, you see that gap now increase by about... Oh, and White makes a bit of a mistake, nearly takes it off. Guys come up on some lap traffic. That's Kurt Chandler up in the distance. Breeze up the throttle there on the entry into the Dunlop. Looks like Jaime Moore and Kurt Chandler up ahead. This could be interesting.
Yeah, can't help but mention as you watch that battle that it is Jonathan Cuppett has made his way up to 11th. Now he is being battled for position by Mike Trussler at the moment, but that battle's going on back there. I'll keep you updated.
So Cuppett makes the move on Trussler, gets it done.
Yeah, so showing lap 27 here, so it is definitely running out. And be Aaron's last charge.
Yep. Might get a bit of help here from these lap cars up ahead.
Oh, David Poole is showing up with suspension damage and out of this race, Al. I just caught that.
Tough break. Ooh. White with a bit of a moment. Parsons, let's see if he can get a run on him here.
Alex is going to defend that inside like his life depended on it.
Yeah, doesn't look like that Viper's got the legs to hang with the ass and down the straight.
Yeah, doesn't need to, does he?
White flashing the lights to the lights for the lap car that's up ahead.
Nice.
Nice job by Kurt, yep.
Tough to do, but so awesome. He will get back up there if Jaime does the same thing, which he should.
This is the last lap of the race, folks.
Boy, nail-biting time here. Jaime Moore is warping a bit too.
Yes, he is. It's the last thing White wants to see. Well, doesn't look like Parsons going to be close enough here. He hasn't given up. He's not settling for that second spot just yet. Oh, it looks like there's a... Oh, as Parson takes it off.
Oh!
Yeah, I think that was some warp going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, White definitely hit more, but that was due to warp more than anything else. Ooh, we got a stop car in the middle of the track, and that's going to do it. White should take the win here. He does. Wow. Parsons second. Uren should finish the race here in third. Is Marty out of gas?
Oh, no.
No, he got it done.
No.
Fourth. Oh, Monahan fifth. Monahan's going to take fifth. Got to wonder if Chris gave up that position to Monahan.
He did.
Houston's going to take seventh. David Raleigh here going to come home in eighth. Being a showboater. Ian Jolicoeur. What could have been for Ian? Should have been him there fighting for that win with Parsons and White. So Ian takes eighth. Greg Meyer's going to hold on to ninth, possibly. He does. Cuppet's 10th. Great run for Cuppet. Trussler, he'll finish in 11th. Galdani here will take 12th. Great run for Jesse after starting from the back. Rodrigo Triana 13th. Matt Taylor 14th. Alex Scott will finish in the points in 15th. He's happy about that. And look at this, Kreshnik Khalili finishing in the points. He's going to take 16th. Wow, great run for Kreshnik after having some issues there. Alex White, do you copy?
Yeah. Hi.
Alan Brad here in the broadcast booth. Congratulations on a big win there. You had a great start once again. You're creeping a little bit there. Kind of wondered if you may have jumped the start, but you certainly didn't. But that first stint there, you had Ian and Montgomery Jr. battling out, but they were kind of hanging on to you there for that in that first stint. Then you came up on that lap traffic there right before your pit stop, kind of cost you a bunch of time. Parsons gets out ahead of you, and then that late pass. Talk us through it.
Yeah, the first stint was pretty much plain sailing. I knew from practice that Salem probably had a bit more pace, but he got a bit stuck behind Ian. So it was like that for the first stint, just keeping the gap steady, trying to look after my tyres, which I never do well, let's be honest. Then coming into 130R, the back marker decides he wants to take it side by side and pushes me right into the curb, and it's just like, what are you doing? So I lost a boatload and a half of time there. And in the pit stop, because I pitted one lap earlier than I was planning, I hit the right key on my keyboard, so I added like 3 litres too much fuel. I don't think that was the whole difference, because my pit crew decided to take forever to put the fuel hose in. Just me sitting there waiting on it, just like, yep, any time now would be great. Then after the pit stops, it was just hell bent on catching Izzo, and that was a brilliant battle.
Yeah, that was a very good one. So it was tight. You did manage to make that late pass. So going forward, the points are still going to be very tight, though. However, between you and Izzo, what do you have to do the rest of the way here to try to consolidate this season 23 championship?
Beat Izzo as much as possible. Yeah, Izzo's very, very, very consistent. You don't win as many championships as he's got without knowing how to do it well. And yeah, I'm just going to have to drive as well as I possibly can. I think there's a couple of tracks that will suit the car, and I think Spa will be a bit difficult.
Well, congratulations, Alex, on a great win tonight. It was it was great to watch. Exciting battle from you two guys. So looking forward to seeing you guys next week at Sandown. How do you think you'll shape up there?
It's got 2 big straights, so the car might suit it, but I'll have 80 kilos for the 3rd time this season. It'll be a challenge. It'll be, if I can set the car up well enough to look after the repairs, I'll be fine, but like I said, me and saving tyres doesn't usually work.
Alright, well, we'll be looking forward to that race, and congratulations again on a great night.
Thank you. Yeah, well done.
Well, there you have it, Brad. Alex White, with a thrilling finish here at Suzuka, but up and down the grid there was so much going on. A great race for us to broadcast, for sure.
Yeah, I have to be really impressed with Marty Urin. I think he made the drive of the night, really showing such great patience there in that 3rd stint, picking his spots and opportunities, and really just kept it on track and drove to a great finish. Tip of the hat also to David Rowley. David Rowley coming home in the 8th spot, showing a lot of patience around too. A very tough night for all these drivers tonight. David Poole ran into some problems, but up and down the grid, some great drives tonight. It was a fun race to be a part of, Al.
Well, thanks, Brad, once again, and thanks everybody who's tuned in. So next week we'll be coming to you live from Sandown for round 8. Until then, you can tune in on this Thursday with Jack Ivey and Ken Rodriguez for round 6, GT1 round 6 from Enna. So looking forward to that one. So hopefully you can tune in then. Otherwise, we'll see you next week from Sandown. Thanks again, guys.